Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
And everyone should be muted because otherwise we wind up with competing sounds and it becomes difficult for anyone to hear anyone else. Good morning. My name is but I do appreciate the good morning. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to court this morning. A little bit of a change in routine this morning. We do have a delay with the city. And so we have a skeleton crew here. We have folks here, but the person that I need here to run this docket with me is not here. So I'm actually going to run the docket and do the best I can, and that person will be here shortly. But I had to grab all the things. The city's been delayed by 2 hours due to weather, and there are folks still trying to safely get here. And so the one person I hoped would get here earlier just hasn't been able to, just due to the location and everything. So we have ice here, and some of you are here and probably know that, and some of you are not here and may have a different situation. So what I'll do is my very best, and this is being recorded. I don't leave the recordings up all the time, but I'll go back over it if I need to make sure that whatever details we get into, well, we'll get you there. So I am waiting for the prosecutor to log in, and I think that's one of the people. A fair amount of this docket this morning is Madam Prosecutor. Give me just one moment. Let me see if I can reach out to her quickly and maybe get her logged in. She may be having trouble too. So give me one quick moment for that. Okay, so on that pretrial docket right now, there are a number of people not logged in, but I have Mr. Koch, Tony Koch, you're on that docket, and I am waiting for that prosecutor to log in, so just be patient with me. City employees were given till 10 to get here today, and I went ahead and it took me a while to get here, but I got here. So I just didn't want to leave people hanging. And then Mr. Tennille McNeil, excuse me, ma'am, you're also on that docket.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you. And Ms. Wright, that's also that docket. Mr. Brewer, Brandon Brewer, I have you on that pretrial docket. And I think, is anyone else here that you know you're here for a pretrial? Mr. Davis, I don't think you're on that. Oh, you are on that pretrial docket. So I have you logged in there. So Ms. Coleman and Ms. Fontenot, I have you on my docket. So the way that I run this court is I really try to maximize staff time and your time so that people don't wait as much as you might have to normally. And I like um, huh, she's saying she's waiting to be let in. Goodness. Okay, let me troubleshoot that for just a moment because she's not on my screen to be let in. I believe her, but I'm glad I reached out. One more moment, folks. Technology is great, but it also means that we have times when things don't do as we expect. So give me just another moment. I want to make sure she has the proper link. Okay, so I expect her to appear any moment. She's been waiting apparently, but there's some disconnect with the Zoom process. Okay, so welcome to Temple Municipal Court, such that it is today. And I do want to tell you my name is Judge Person. There are some preliminary things that I think are important to note, and I'm going to review that while we're waiting for the prosecutor, and then I will move forward with my folks. When that pretrial docket begins, I'll actually create another room. What we do in a pretrial is it's a face-to-face meeting with the city's prosecutor. Okay, and now she does not represent you, she represents the other party. So be aware of that. You're not required to hash through facts or make statements. But we're trying to see, is there a resolution? If not, are we heading to trial? If so, what kind of trial? And are there preliminary matters that must be taken care of prior to trial, which the law says we should be vetting that beforehand. So that's what we're trying to hit all of those targets in that setting. So generally speaking, though, what I like to tell everybody is the same information. So when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for a person being accused of something. When you get a ticket, you're being accused. That's what that is. Okay. Now, you've heard of people giving a plea. When you give a plea, you're giving an answer or response to that accusation. And there are three options for entering a plea: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Now, if you plead guilty, you're actually saying, I did this. And I will move into sentencing. And I'll talk more about what sentencing looks like in just a moment. She's not able to get into the meeting, and that's the first time I've seen that. Just a minute. Anyway, we're going to continue. Just want to make sure she's not in a different area. Nope, just not here. Okay. So back to sentencing, as I was saying. So sentencing in a Class C court, normally you're paying fines and costs and having it go on your record. I have some options available in connection with that, and I'm going to review those in just a moment. The second option for pleading would be to plead not guilty, and you have the right to do that without explanation. If you plead not guilty, though, you are requesting ultimately that the state prove that case against you. Ultimately, you're asking for a trial, okay? When you ask for a trial, we have to stop discussion about facts of the case and move that case toward trial. Um, I'm sorry, I'm so, and I apologize for that interruption. I don't know what the problem or the issue is, but normally I will get a notice that someone is here to be let in, and that's how you all experienced it. And she seems to be caught somewhere in there, and it's not showing up for mine. So what I will tell you is that if you plead not guilty, we do move that case to a trial process. Okay, and there are two processes there. There is a pretrial process today, and then a final pretrial process, which is live. There's certain paperwork and pretrial matters that we have to do at the pretrial setting. At that point, we're scheduling trial, and you're deciding with the prosecutor whether you're having a jury hear the case, which you have the right to do. Sometimes people want to waive that right and have the judge hear the case, which would be me. That's another reason I don't go into facts on cases right now, because I can't vet those facts without all the witnesses present and everybody sworn in for testimony in front of a jury if that's the election that you make. Okay. Is everybody with me so far? Okay. So if you plead no contest, that's the third option. That's not admitting or denying the offense. It's a neutral plea that allows you to be sentenced without agreeing or disagreeing with your ticket. So if you plead guilty or no contest, then I'm moving forward with sentencing. Okay. And that normally means payment of those funds and costs, having it go on your record. But there are several exceptions to that. I call it four. Probably it's five exceptions to being found guilty. Let me tell you what those are and how they work. Okay. One, if you qualify for something that can be dismissed through what is called compliance, I will automatically tell you. Okay. That would be something like, for example, registration of your vehicle. Sometimes you can get that dismissed, and I'll automatically look for that dismissal for you because the law says I should tell you that. So I will just tell you that. It's pretty simple. It does not include any moving violations, and it does not include insurance cases, and it does not include if your license is invalid. Now, if your license has out of date, it's expired, or you have a restriction that you needed to get removed, sometimes those will qualify. So I don't expect everybody to know all those details. I'll just walk you through those details. Okay. So I'll walk you through the details and then see if we can get you to that dismissal. Sometimes, because you don't know you can get that dismissal, you don't have things ready. Okay. That's one of the times I'll delay your case and give you more time to get something, because it could give you it gives you, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go back to her in a moment. It gives you a time to get things together that will help you and get that dismissal and save money. And I figure everybody wants to do that. If you don't want to do that, if you just want to, pay it at the window, pay it online, you can do that. But I'm assuming people logged in here probably don't want to do that. So I will walk you through that. Okay. Hold on just one more moment. Let me get back to her and see if I can get her straightened out. I think we've got um, one more time that I might be able to. Uh, hmm. It would appear there's always something new to learn on this technology. And I've gotten fairly decent with it, but let me try one more thing. Hmm, that's not helping. So that's the first way to gain a dismissal. The second way would be if you qualify to take a driver safety course. For a moving violation, that's going to be your least expensive route. If you plead guilty or no contest, then you have to qualify to be in the driver safety course option. And then you have to complete the option. Okay. So pre-qualifying requires that you have a Texas driver's license. It cannot be a CDL. Or if you're not a Texas license holder, but you are active military or active military dependent, then I can take your other license from wherever you're from. Okay. And then you have to pay, you can't have been to a course to get a ticket dismissed in the last year. If you have, then you've fulfilled that. Here she is. Okay. She might have had an incorrect link. She's coming on in. This is the city's prosecutor. Her name is Nicole Warren. Good morning, Ms. Warren. I'm so sorry for any confusion. I will look into the problem. Folks know you have been waiting and diligent and trying to get in, and that the problem has been something to do with the Zoom process. And we're in the middle of describing the dismissal options. So you haven't really missed anything, but welcome to the meeting. Okay. Thank you. So with the driver's safety course option, you can gain a dismissal of your ticket. You do have to pay your court costs and provide your license and insurance the day that you begin that process. When you do that, you have a 90-day window to get back a course you can take online and a copy of your driving record, which you can print online. And at that point, when you produce those two items, we dismiss the ticket and waive the balance. So you pay the court costs. Every ticket has a court cost and a fine. When I give you a number today, I'm giving you a combined number. In the driver's safety course option, you pay just part of it, the court cost. That goes to the state of Texas. The fine is what comes to the city of Temple, okay? You don't pay that fine. If you complete the process, that fine gets waived, and it's actually less expensive than if you pay the whole ticket and have it go on your record. So if you qualify and you want to do that program, it's a pretty good option for removing violation. But you do have to follow up and get everything done on time. Otherwise, you bounce yourself out of that program. So that's the second dismissal option. The third option is if you do what is called a deferred disposition. Class C courts are unique in Texas in that you can ask for a deferred disposition directly from the judge on a plea of guilty or no contest. If you plead guilty or no contest and you do a deferred is a delayed finding. So deferred means delay, disposition means finding. And I delay the finding of guilt, put in some conditions for you to follow, and if you follow those conditions, dismiss your citation. If you plead guilty or no contest and request a deferred, and I grant that deferred, then we'll put an order in writing in place that will control the outcome. And if you follow those steps that are written down in that order, you get a dismissal. Okay. So it's a written agreement for a dismissal. It's basically a contract between you and the court. Okay. Prosecutors also can offer deferreds, and you're welcome to talk to Madam Prosecutor about that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. She also gets to weigh in on those cases on the pretrial docket, whether you can grab that or not. She has to also agree. Okay. So that's the third option. And then the fourth one would be if you are qualified to be in a teen court program. Teen court, the Temple Teen Court, is an alternative sentencing option that does allow for a dismissal, but it puts more of the burden on completing the sentence on the young person instead of their parents to pay. There will be some things that you might have to pay for, but they are more minimal costs, where our assumption is you're a student in high school and that that's your job. Okay. Some high school students work, but they usually do not work full time. Okay. So if you qualify to do teen court, we'll move you in that direction unless you don't want to do it. Okay. As always, you can just pay your ticket and take the hit. And I look at everybody's financial situation individually. So I had a financial form. Normally we've sent that to you. That's in case we need it to do sentencing, because I need the details and I need to document the decisions that I reach. Okay. So now what we will do is move the cases that are here for pretrial into the pretrial room, and let me get that set up quickly. Ms. Warren, one thing you might not know is the city had a late start. You probably do know that. The person I need in the courtroom today with me has not been able to get here yet. We'll be here eventually, and this is a recording. So if we need that as backup, we have that record for right now. Even though we don't keep them, I keep them for a period. And I'm just going to do the best I can and juggle everything that I juggle. So it might go a little more slowly, and I might have to clarify a few things, but I'm just, working through it. Normally, I have a couple of staff members working dockets with me, and it's not a problem for me to do that. But I might be slower than Ms. Warren is used to. I know she'll be as patient as she is able. Let's see, here we go. The first person is Tony Cook and Mr. Cook. You'll get, as Miss Warren will, an invite to go to that room. And basically, that's a conversation that is off my earshot. And you'll join that. When y'all are finished having a discussion, y'all will join this room again, and I'll see you pop back in, and I'll work you back into my line, basically. Okay, let's see. Ms. Nagel, and then Ms. Fontenot, or Fontenot. I know there's different ways to say that name. Ms. Nagel, let me get your file pulled up, and then I'm going to ask you to go ahead and unmute. Where did you go? Sorry, Mr. Nagel, excuse me. I was looking at the wrong person. Okay. Mr. Nagel, are you Coleman Nagel? Is that your full name? Okay.
Yes,
I apologize. I was looking at the wrong person. So you're 18. Are you in high school?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you, did you understand the options for pleading guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about what those mean?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And the charge that you had is disregarding an official traffic control device. If you were to pay that ticket, the total would be $244. What is your plea to that? Oh, sorry. And the allegation date is for January 14th, date of that stop. How are you pleading to that charge?
I plead no contest.
Okay. You're in high school?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Where do you go to school?
I go to Belton High School.
What grade are you in?
12th grade.
Okay. When we do teen court, there is a $20 dismissal fee that you pay up front. Can you pay that fee theoretically today? I'm not sure we're going to be open today. So we might wind up doing finalized paperwork tomorrow. Are you able theoretically to pay that today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then what I have is a class that is really, you're going to take a course and you will pay for that course. But instead of paying the $144, you're going to pay $20. Can you agree to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Statistics are really clear for us. When folks engage in teen court, they are actually significantly less likely to reoffend. And with traffic, what that is a pure safety issue. And the teen court model operates a little more quickly. So I'm going to need that class back from you in 30 days. Okay. There's an online option. There's a local option in Belton, as a matter of fact. And when you come by to pay your $20 and do your fees, that's going to be all included in there. The options, places that you could go. Okay. And so you'll just read it at the counter. We won't take more than 5 to 10 minutes of your time. And then you'll leave and go get that done, turning in your certificate before the 30 days comes to a close. And I sign a dismissal at that point. Okay. Are you
Okay.
good with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's all going to be due no later than March 10th.
Okay.
Now, give me another moment. I was supposed to get notice if we're all closed all day long or if we are just closed for the morning. and I'm still not hearing. Let me call the front desk and see if we've gotten word from the city manager. I'm not trying to be a bureaucrat today, but do we know, are we closed for the rest of the day? Or we're opening at 10?
We are open at 10.
Staff's gotten here. Okay, so what I would say is, and you know what I'm going to do with people today, I don't know that tomorrow is going to be a better day as far as the weather goes. That's the concern I have is what bad weather day do we pick? Let me look at I'm thinking what I'm going to do today is give everybody till close of business tomorrow. Tomorrow does look a little bit better in the afternoon, although today it is supposed to warm up enough to not be slick. And tomorrow it will do that too. Tomorrow is Friday. So what I'm going to tell everyone today, normally I say I need everything signed by the close of business today. Due to the weather issue, I'm going to give everybody by tomorrow. Mr. Nagel, do you think you can get here sometime today or tomorrow, no later than 4 o'clock?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just, don't do anything unsafe, but I think it's not as bad as we thought it was. I mean, I got here and it had no problem other than my windshield, but I had to wait for that. But other than that, just stay safe. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you get here, you go to the front of the building and park. Our phone number's on the window. You just call and they'll do a process of letting you in. We do have protocols in place for COVID. So just go ahead and be prepared to mask up and answer questions. And then we won't keep you very long. Okay. But we'll get you everything you need. And if you have questions, you can ask at the front desk. And if they can't answer, they will put you in a meeting with me, okay, online like this. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That's your way to resolution and to get a dismissal. We'll look for you no later than tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. All right. So he is a high school student at Belton High. And it's just a teen court with the standard class that they do for that one. Oh, listen, nothing's normal today, don't worry. Hi, Miss, do you say Fontenot or Fontenot? I have friends with that name. You'll have to unmute.
Fontenot.
Hi. So
Hi.
you say Fontenot?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a theft charge. And give me just a moment. Let me look. There's some paperwork for me to look through. I think we have visited before. I remember you. No, I just remember the name. Okay. Did they send you juvenile paperwork? It's going to look like this. And there would be multiple pages, 6 pages.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start with page 1. Okay, because you are a juvenile, we'll have to, we've got staff admitted, great. So what I would tell you is that right now, I believe you are 15, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And where do you go to school?
Barb High School.
Where?
Barb High School.
Barbe.
Barb.
Can you spell that?
BARBE.
And that's near Lake Charles?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first form tells you rights that you have. These are certain warnings. You're charged with the offense of theft under $100. That's a Class C misdemeanor. You have the right to have an attorney present to advise you, although in a Class C court, we don't court appoint counsel. The way that you would invoke that right would be to say, I need some time to visit with a lawyer. And we would delay your case today and give you more time. Okay. And I'll visit with you about that again in a moment. You don't need to do that right now, but consider it, and I'll give you a moment to talk with your parent. And Dad, just if I could see your face for a quick moment.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am, I'm here.
Can I get your name, please, sir?
My name is Patrick Taylor.
Patrick Taylor.
Yes, ma'am, Taylor.
Okay, and you are Dad?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, thank you. And ma'am, I'll go back to, you have that right to that attorney present too, and prior to any interviews by, and questioning by peace officers or attorneys that represent the state. What that means technically is that once you enter a plea, you're waiving that right, okay? In this setting, that's where that waiver would happen. So prior to that interview or questioning includes when you enter a plea, okay? You also have the right to remain silent, and you have the right to not make a statement, and any statement you may make can be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to stop any interview or questioning at any time. When you sign at the bottom, you're not agreeing or disagreeing with those rights. You're just signing saying, okay, I understand. You've told me. Okay. So I am going to want you to sign that today. Do you feel that you can make that signature today?
You sign right where it says dependent.
I signed it.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll sign it too. And I'm going to take a short break with you and move Miss Warren forward because she has a bigger docket than I do. So you'll go on mute again, but I'm coming right back to you, okay? All right. Thank you, Ms. Warren. Mr. Koch, I'm going to ask you to unmute as well. And let me get Mr. Koch's file. Hold on. I think these might be where you take notes. I don't know. Mhm. No problem. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She's got a lot to do today. And we had some technical problems. Yes, ma'am, it sure is. Okay, Ms. Warren, Mr. Koch, y'all had a pretrial discussion, and Ms. Warren, let me hear from you, please.
So, Your Honor, I am going to need further proof from Mr. Cook regarding his insurance issue.
Okay,
So I have instructed him to get that proof to me between now and the next hearing.
okay,
And if I don't dismiss the case, he is to appear.
okay.
So he needs to check on that. Otherwise, the status is pending until the next hearing.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Warren. When is that next pretrial? Is it? Okay, so Mr. Koch, we're set for March 24th, excuse me, at 2 o'clock. Is that your understanding too?
And
Okay,
that was,
unless the case, okay, thank you. Unless the case is dismissed by Ms. Warren at that date, we'll expect to see you here, okay?
in person or Zoom?
It's in person
Okay.
at that point, right? If she dismisses it, then you're not gonna need to be here. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna remove you from the from the meeting. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next person from Ms. Warren's docket is going to be Tanil McNeil. And Ms. Warren, I'll make that room available to y'all again, I think. Let's see, here we go. McNeil. Thank you. Ms. McNeil, you should be getting an invite. Mr. McNeil, excuse me. Ms. McNeil. I'm sorry, sometimes people are covered up and I just see part of their name. And so you should have an invite to go to another room. So just go ahead and do that now, okay? Very good. Awesome. It's exciting when you see people, they realize they can do it. Hopefully that for when they come back. So I'm not shuffling in. Okay. And think this is, I wound up with 2 copies of that. Yeah, I think she made one for you. And Coleman. It's not a great sound, is it? Mhm. All right. Sponsor that over back to her. Too much talking. I hope that's not a permanent sound. Sounds like a bell. The building is making noises. Oh, goodness. Well, I don't think I'm going to climb up there right now. Okay, so Ms. Fontenot, did you have any questions about those magistrate warnings? They probably sound familiar, like something off television. But actually, those are what we call the Miranda warnings. They'll sound a little different because you're underage, but they are the same warnings and rights that we have, all of us. Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think we're going to move to page 2. This one's a little less complicated. Basically, you're just letting me know, is that address correct or not? Okay. So your address is listed. I'm not going to read your address over the internet. Okay. If that's not your address, then drop to the second box and give me your correct address. If that is your address, just check the first box. And what it tells you is if you move, you've got to let us know. Okay. It's a requirement by law that you keep your address current and your email and your phone number with us until we're done with everything. And done with
Yes, ma'am.
everything here means either the case is dismissed or zeroed out, whichever is appropriate for your situation. Okay?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I think it's just a typo, but it says Texas. It should
Okay.
be Louisiana.
Yeah, I think we have that misentered. And so I will make that change. I think just make that change at the top and sign off.
Instead of filling out the box.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
just cross it out and put
Yes,
LA
ma'am.
instead of TX. And is the zip code correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, I think somebody made a data entry mistake. And that usually comes over. Yeah, it's just a data entry mistake. So that usually just comes over with the citation. And so I would say just check that first box. And then you two are both signing saying, we know we've got this duty to keep the address current. All right, so let's move to the next page. Now this page is, again, it's very similar. It's just, actually I had intended, oh well. So what I will say on page 3, it may sound like kind of a rehash, but it basically gives you a lengthy explanation about how to change your address. And basically what that amounts to is if you move, we need it in writing, okay? Someone can't just call and change your address for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you sign just saying, yes, I know, and these are the addresses and phone numbers and websites. Looks like that website needs to be corrected. Page 4, this one is really saying, once we make a court order today, Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Once we make a court order today, there's a court order at the end of the day, and I anticipate there will be in one direction or another, you have to follow up on it. It's basically binding, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And when I make an order and people don't follow it, this is true for adults as well as juveniles, I can hold the person in contempt and fine them and even jail them. It's not something we do a lot of, but I do have the right and I have the obligation to enforce my orders. So you're signing that saying you understand that. And Dad signs that one as well.
Yes, ma'am.
We're almost at the end. The last 2 pages go together. Now, this is a long-winded legal explanation about a very basic principle. if you're convicted of an offense like this one prior to turning 17 in Texas, when you turn 17, you can have the item completely erased from your record. That process is called an expunction. And the way that you generate an expunction is when you turn 17, you come to the court where you had the case, like this court, and you say, what do I need to do to gain an expunction? Okay. So it's just telling you, and that's particularly important when you have a Class C misdemeanor like a theft. Okay. In this case, you're signing saying, I understand I can have an expunction when I turn 17, provided my case is completed. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that's that paperwork. And really, I am going to have to arrange to get it from you today. Can you scan it and email back to us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, just use that email where we sent you the meeting request. When I get hers in, I can substitute those. All right. Can I get a copy of her citation as well? Can you give us a moment? Okay. So, Ms. Fontenot, you're accused of a theft charge. If you paid that citation, it's $296. Do you understand the pleading options of guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
And I would ask Dad too. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Fontenot, how are you pleading to that charge?
Guilty.
Okay. Was this at Walmart?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What were the items taken?
I don't remember.
Ooh, you don't even remember, huh?
Well, you could tell us the ones that you do remember.
An incense holder. Oh,
Let's see.
I don't
There
remember.
was a phone case, something called pop sockets,
Yes, ma'am.
a lavender bar, and a tiara rainbow. Does
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
okay. So were you alone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, who were you with? That's not to get anyone in trouble. I'm just trying to sort out your case.
Caitlin Fisher.
Okay, was that person also charged?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A friend of yours or family member?
Friend.
Okay. Did y'all decide to do it when you got to the store, or did you go to the store thinking, let's do it?
When we got to the store.
Okay. So I'm trying to kind of drill down and sort of get you thinking about what happened, including
Yes, ma'am.
what you took. So another question I have is, y'all are in the store, and did y'all talk about it together, or did one person start to do it, or how did that happen?
One person started to do it.
Was it you or her?
Her.
Okay. And did you see what she was doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How did you feel at that point?
Nervous.
Mhm. Did she talk to you about it at all at that point? Did you talk to her?
I told her we should leave, and she didn't say anything.
Now, did you also pick up items at that point?
No, ma'am.
You just left with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you knew what she was doing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I guess y'all were stopped on the way out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Another question I have that's completely different. You're 15. What do you think you might want to do when you get older? What are you trying to become?
Ultrasound tech.
Okay. So this is a really important moment for you, because what I'm going to tell you is that if you're convicted of this offense, if it goes on your record, even though you're underage, you won't be licensed to do that. Okay. We don't license people in Texas to work with vulnerable people if they are thieves.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to have to work through this, okay? The best approach I have found is if you take a class in theft intervention.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can take it online, in fact, and you just go through it slowly, take your class and get it turned in. She's on, is that correct? I've got several programs. Let me try to see which one you're most qualified for. Give me a moment. I want to work with Ms. Warren, and I'll be right back with you again, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Warren. Oh, excellent.
It
Ms.
looks like
McNeil?
Ms. McNeil didn't make it back into the room.
It looks like that's true. And I've got one person who is admitted late. He just popped up. I think that's Brandon, a different person. I'll figure out who that is in a moment. Brandon, I'll be with you shortly. You'll be on mute. Okay. Was there any kind of agreement with Ms. McNeil?
Yeah, she did change her plea to no contest. She's going to show a driver's license that is current, and she would like to request community service.
On the remaining?
Yes, a
On the
community
license?
service.
I'm so sorry. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. So the DL is a plea and bar. So when she shows that proof, I am going to dismiss that one. And then she's going to go forward with the deferred on the failed to signal, and she's requesting community service.
Okay. So dismissal on one, deferred on the other, the court will sort out the payment issue.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
The next person I have in your queue is Ms. Wright. And
Okay.
Ms. Wright, we're going to move both of you to a breakout room. And Ms. McNeil is still in that room. I don't have access to that room. So when y'all go in that room, just let her know I'm waiting for her over here.
Okay.
Thank you. And Ms. Wright, you'll receive an invitation. Just click on that invitation. Thank you. Gentleman named Brandon, let me get your last name, please, that you just came in late to the meeting. You're going to have to unmute, sir. Baseball cap. Thank you.
It's Guines.
Guns.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe he's on my docket. Guns. Let's see. G-A-N-Z?
It's a Guines.
G-U-Y, okay, G-U-Y-N-E-S. Pretrial. Okay, you're here for a pretrial. I'll mark you here. Why were you late?
I was seeing on the TV. It said the offices weren't opening until 10 o'clock.
Yeah, well, Zoom is open because the whole point of Zoom is you don't have to travel over here, but we're good and you can stay in the meeting. I'm going to mute
thank
you.
you.
She's got a number of people waiting for her, but we will get to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Fontenot. I don't see Ms. McNeil. I don't know where she went. Give me just a moment. She's still in that other room. I'm going to move her out. Ms. McNeil? Ms. McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I couldn't.
Okay. Do we have payment information on Ms. McNeil? Oh, I do. I can order community service based on the application you've provided.
Yes.
I'm going to give you till tomorrow to come and bring that license, right?
Yes.
You're bringing a license to us?
She said I can just email it in, but if you need me to bring it in, I guess
We'll
I
bring
can
it
try
in.
to bring it in.
We'll bring it.
Yeah, well, the deferred disposition, can you print it, sign it, and send it back to us?
My father-in-law said we'll just bring it up there tomorrow. That way
Okay.
we can do, or we can come today if need be.
That'd be great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, deferred disposition. It'll be 14 hours of community service, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll give you 60 days to complete that. That will make it due 4/12, I think. And I'll give you a list of places where you can do the work. That will include, if you find any nonprofit in Texas, you can do that work there. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so your deferred order, that will be how you're making payment. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. And then no tickets during that time. Bring the license and she'll do the dismissal and we'll just move forward. If you get your hours turned in and don't get any more citations, then your case will be dismissed after 120 days, about June 10th. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
And nothing will be on my record, correct?
that's correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all your information and your orders will be at the window within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So if you come by between now and tomorrow by 4, we'll be able to take care of you there, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank
No,
you.
ma'am. I think you
Okay.
covered everything. Have a good day. Can I leave the room now or
Yes.
stay in here? Okay.
You can
All right.
leave.
Enjoy your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I have the old one from yesterday. So I've just been using those numbers. Sorry? No. Ms. Fontenot, while we were, Ms. Warren, I'll be right with you. While we were working with everyone, the clerk looked it up and you qualify for what is called our first offender program, in that you have been on time, you've kept up with business, and you haven't had previous offenses. So what that's going to turn into is if you can get that course by your next court date, then I can dismiss your citation. I'll still need you to log back into the Zoom meeting. We're going to email all the information to you today of what you need to do, and you'll pay for that class, but you won't even be in the teen court process. You qualified for a different program that Ms. Warren has sorted out with me and made available to the court, and that will be due back certificate of completion emailed to us, the whole thing completed with a certificate by March 10th. That's your court date, so try to get it here the day before so that I can review it and go ahead and sign that dismissal. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll send that to you. If you wind up with any questions, you can email back with those questions. But essentially what you're going to do is take an online theft intervention class, give it to us, and we will dismiss your charge. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions, Dad?
Yes, ma'am. The 296, so I just pay that online?
You won't be paying that. If she does her class,
Okay.
she won't pay any fees. We want you to focus your money and attention on the class.
Yes, ma'am. And the online class, that'll be information will be in the email.
Yes.
And you want me to get this paper, this 6 pages scanned with our signatures and faxed or sent to Miss Davis? I think is who sent me the email.
Yes, and she'll be at court online help at
The
templetx.gov.
court online help, that's the email address?
Yes.
Okay, yes,
The
ma'am.
one that we sent the meeting notice to.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
And Ms. Fontenot, last thing I want to say to you, use this as a learning opportunity
Yes, ma'am.
so that you can have the goals that you're seeking. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you're right at the point, you almost blew it. Okay. And that dream, keep it.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a good goal. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Warren, for waiting. Let me get back to Ms. Wright. She's unmuted. Okay. Let me move Ms. Fontenot's paperwork out. Let me just grab Ms. Wright's file right here. Okay, thank you, Ms. Warren, for your patience. And
So I am going to dismiss Ms. Wright's ticket based on the proof she provided.
Okay, so Ms. Wright, she should get that over to us shortly. We can email a copy to you
Okay,
once I sign it and it's completed, okay?
yes, ma'am.
That'll probably be later this morning.
Okay, well, stay inside and stay warm.
Thank you. You too, ma'am. Stay safe, okay?
You
Good
too.
luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Ms. Warren, our next person for you is Brandon Brewer.
Okay.
Mr. Brewer, I'm moving you with an invite to the room with Ms. Warren, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Mr. Jackson,
Yes, ma'am.
good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for your patience this morning. It's been an interesting morning so far. Every technical problem we can have, we pretty much had it. So let's see. I'm just reviewing your paperwork. I've got your file.
Okay.
What we needed, we got a show cause today. We did get your certificate of your class. Check mark, that's good. The thing we're missing is your driving permit. What's going on with that?
So last year, my mom, we scheduled the appointment and they were like really backed up. So we scheduled the appointment and we had to do it in Pflugerville because that was the only appointment that we could schedule at the time. So we went all the way to Pflugerville and I got there and they said that they couldn't find my appointment that I scheduled.
Okay.
So we waited like another 2 hours trying to get a walk-in appointment and they were just really busy that day. They couldn't get us in.
Okay.
So, and then we scheduled another appointment, which was this week, but
Okay.
I was recently exposed to COVID, so I couldn't go. And I also have an email from my doctor with my protocols if you needed that. But
Okay.
so I have to quarantine for 10 days. But I
Then
was
make
supposed to get
another
it.
appointment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Which
I
I
can
have
work
no
with you.
idea where it would be at.
Well, these are things that are not your fault. So I can work with you on that. Okay. What I'm going to do is let's give it 30 days from today. So March 10th.
Okay.
And we'll schedule the meeting like today so that we can troubleshoot problems like today. I'm going to make an exception due to the circumstances you find yourself in today. And I hope everything stays well and safe for you. But I'm extending you to the 10th of March and we'll schedule that for a meeting.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I have some things I can do under the law just due to the things that are happening for folks. So if I can get that permit before that day, like let's say you get through your 10 days and you get scheduled and you go get it done on day 16 and you email that over and call, make sure we got it, then you don't need to do that meeting on the 10th of March because we'll be done.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll just make an exception. Your other case will go ahead and head the disregarding can head to so on disregarding, that's where I have the class for that one. And the permit is for the license charge.
Right.
The disregarding can go ahead and dismiss. And the no DL, he's got to get it and he's not allowed to go get it right now. Right. Yeah, step forward on one case. The other one resets to 3/10 for a due date and a Zoom date on the same day. Make sense? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Jackson, we're done. We're good. You feel like you know what you need to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll remove you from the meeting. Stay well.
You too.
Okay. There we go. Thank you. Okay, we've got Brewer. So we're just down to Mr. Davis and Mr. Guyan's. You folks are waiting for Miss Warren, so you're contesting your charge. So she will work with you shortly, okay? You're just gonna see me sitting here cooling my heels waiting, just like you, okay? When Miss Warren pops in, I'll take what she's got for me and I'll move the next person through. That's actually gonna be Mr. Davis first. And then I'll say it wrong probably every time, but Mr. Guinness. Guinness? Guinness. I'll keep stabbing at that name and try to get it right. Mr. Brewer. Mr. Davis. Guinness. So Brewer and Hernandez didn't show. We've got a few more shows on her docket in the library. I'm going to work on my no shows. Oh no, I had 100% show. I'm good on. Those are all good. Yay. Love when that happens. There we go. Okay, Miss Warren, may I hear from you?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Brewer is going to take an offer of a 90-day deferral, and he's going to pay within 30 days. I'm also going to reduce the fine to $359.
Fine is $359.
Yes,
And is that the fine or the total?
fine and cost total.
Okay, okay. I'll do that reduction over here. It's probably easier just based on your representation.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and then Mr. Brewer, we can email that deferred to you for signature if you can sign it, scan it, and send it back over to us today.
Yes, ma'am.
That
Yeah, no
be
problem.
possible? That will work?
Yes.
Okay, then look for that within the next few minutes. We'll get that out to you and get it back to us. You won't have to drive over. You can call the court and do payment on the phone. And I've got payment date. No, sorry. Oh, goodness, where is he? Oh, you're in Temple. Okay, what I'm being told is that you can't, because it's a deferred, you won't be able to pay it on the phone.
Okay.
You'll have to either mail in a check or come by. But you've got up to 30 days to do that, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
But I do need signature today.
Okay.
Okay, all right, we'll send that to you shortly.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you.
Ms. Warren.
Thank
Bye. Good luck to you.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, Ms. Warren, thank you. The next person for you is Patrick Davis, and I will move him to that room.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
And Mr. Davis, you should get like an invite. So kind of move your arrow around the screen. There you go. Okay. You know, the profession. Okay. Mr. Davis. Burrier is a no-show. Davis is good. Matthew Danny is off. Guy knows. He knows. It's here. Elias. No show. That's gonna drive me nuts. Let's get real quiet for a minute. I want to record that. Okay. Thank you. Well, Burrier has a warrant, so I'm just going to keep the warrant in place. Yes. Yeah, just keep the warrant, maybe activate it for a no insurance ticket. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all going to supposed to go home when this is over. Because it's going to rain and then get colder. Yeah, they're shutting us down. I'm glad we got the docket done today, though. I hate resetting people because I know they've taken off, to be here. On Labra, I have a no-show. Yes, Eduardo. So I guess he can get a warrant. Who said they were coming over today? Miss McNeil. Can we call her and let her know? Yeah, I don't want her driving over here. We just found out we're getting shut down, so. Yeah, yeah. No, no, I know. Way before then. Yeah. Well, and I've told people, come on by, we're here. We checked actually at, you were here, so I checked at, be careful. It's getting worse. It's pouring rain and it's freezing.
Hi, this is Melissa from the Municipal Court. I was calling to let you know they did shut us down for today. So if you could please come tomorrow, we will have your documents.
Tell them to call first.
And then please call first to verify the RFP. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We should be here 8 to 5.
Ms. Warren, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
The latest breaking news is they're closing all the city hall buildings down because we've got sleeting rain with a freeze coming behind it. So we're now calling people who are coming over to do their paperwork to tell them,
Don't
well, if they've left, we're going to wait. But if not, don't.
What? I didn't expect all this till Monday. I'm surprised.
Monday's gonna be, well, I mean, the prediction for Monday is 3 degrees.
Wow.
So for Texas, that's a big deal. If you live in the Northwest, I mean, it's normal.
Yeah.
But so you and Mr. Davis were able to discuss things? a
We
bit?
were, and
Okay.
Mr. Davis is actually in Afghanistan. So
Far
yeah,
out. Wow,
we
sir.
follow
Thank
up
you for joining
on
us.
this, and
Yeah,
I'm
you're
so
welcome.
proud of him, and I thank him for serving our country.
Absolutely.
I'm going to dismiss on his case for interest of justice and proof. Apparently, his wife had trouble scheduling the sterilization. When she tried to show proof, it was after the case had been filed.
Gotcha.
And so, just based on the circumstances, I'm going to dismiss it. And
Okay.
the proof should be in the court folder.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Davis, actually, Ms. Warren will get that over to us. I'll sign it and we'll email it to you. Probably we'll do that today. It kind of depends. We're all now looking at, we need to get on home before things get worse. So if you don't worry if you don't get it today, but I've approved it. Okay. So that will eventually make its way to you. Sorry?
I said, no problem.
Okay. That'll eventually make its way to you. What time is it there?
Right now is 8 minutes till 9
In the
at night.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Well, you stay
And
well.
he
Okay.
just got off.
Yeah, I
the-
just got off the 12-hour shift like 2 hours ago.
Time to go to sleep, sir. All right.
Yeah, it is.
You stay well. Okay. And Ms.
You
Warren,
too.
thanks for letting us know.
Mhm.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
And Ms. Warren, there's just one more. And Mr. Davis, I'll actually go ahead and, yeah, there you go. Just one more. If you don't mind, let's complete it. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there's a nice picture of you with Governor Richards. Is that right?
Oh, can you see that?
I can see that.
That
pretty
is
cool.
me and Governor Richards. Yes.
That's pretty cool. We'll have to talk about Governor Richards sometime. I knew her a little tiny bit as well.
Yeah. Wow.
So great lady.
Definitely.
Okay. I'm going to remove y'all for just briefly to that pretrial room and I'll still be here.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Guidance, you'll get there you go. Very good. Afghanistan. Sorry he's there, but glad for his service. No, he did it. And the wife gave the proof and Ms. Warren is dismissing and we'll just email to him when we get it done. City's shutting down, so we're finishing up our docket and I'll go home.
My wife just called and said, yeah, he's leaving at noon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. You know,
Yes. Yeah. Darn it. No. Exactly. We just need to get things wrapped up so we can go. Right, I know. I'm kind of nervous about you driving. Okay. Here are all my notes. You probably don't need them. On that. On Hernandez. What is going on? Let's look in Mr. Hernandez Elias's file and see if there was any proof provided. He may have, yeah, I can look.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're thinking of that, okay.
Well, I was, but then I realized you were busy.
Oh, I'm trying to see.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, that's, yeah, I know you're flying. Right? Yeah. Good idea. Smart choice. It does. It does me too. No, you're right. It's a great technique. Let's see. Citations in November. Summons and completion. Summons went out. January. License. Email.
It's like when you get sugar packets.
It's what?
You know, like when tables are wobbling in a restaurant, you stick sugar packets under so they
Uh-huh.
stop wobbling. That's basically it.
Well, I don't want to do it on screen, but I'm gonna get something and push and see if it's just something that needs to be wiggled. But I'm not gonna do it on screen. Oh. No, I would say it's not proof. Here's his statement. My wife let the dog out on purpose and put me in jail, but told my daughter that she took him to the pound, which wasn't true. So I think she should be the one getting charged, not me. I would say that's a failure to understand the charge. Okay. All right. Thank you. There we go. Okay. Ms. Warren, may I hear from you?
Yes, Mr. Brewer is going to take defensive driving. He has a new job that requires he has a clear license. So he's taking a no contest plea and
Okay.
he's going to do the defensive driving.
Okay. And the sign up for that, it's just a plain vanilla speeding charge. So it's 144. Is that right? Can you pay that well, I'm not going to say today. I'm going to say tomorrow. Can you pay that and provide current license and insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're in Academy.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to assume the weather will permit you to get here tomorrow, but I'm also going to say, let's reschedule you to do that no later than Tuesday.
Okay.
Because they're closing our offices down now and telling us we all have to vacate and go home. So
Alrighty.
no later than the 16th. If tomorrow works, call and make sure that we're here, because I actually don't think the weather's going to improve until next week. So
Okay.
I'm really moving this to Monday. I'm sorry, Tuesday, because Monday's President's Day, and Monday is actually going to be much worse. So no later than the 16th. Okay.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
just going to take a court's change on the date to that. Ms. Warren, you don't have any objection? I'm
No
just
objection,
assuming.
Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Then I'm going to move you to sign up for that no later than Tuesday. Will that date work for you, Mr. Guinness?
Yes, ma'am.
Guinness?
Guines.
Guines, boy. Okay. Okay. We'll see you here Tuesday, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Warren, I'm going to remove Mr. Guinness.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm so sorry for the confusion. I actually think I might have figured out the problem, and it has to do with scheduling. So I apologize for your frustration this morning. I'm so glad you stayed patient and we got it sorted out. I hope you're at home. We all need to, we're going to.
I haven't actually looked outside, but I think Pflugerville is probably having as much trouble as Temple, but I was just completely unaware.
Yeah. Well,
like this.
I knew there was a problem brewing, but wow. So anyway, I will see you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I was going to say that I got the wrong invite. Is that what you saw?
That's what I saw when I drilled down. I was like, somehow she's on a meeting that
Yeah, I'm like, I'm
this
sitting here. I
meeting,
know.
and I kept sending you that picture and
Yeah.
saying, you're not there
I know.
though. I can't let you. I would happily let you in. Because they were all, a lot of your folks were there, and you know, I knew I could talk a while, but I knew I couldn't talk forever. So
Well, glad it worked out.
yeah, I'll sort that out and see if I can drill down on them, whether that's a consistent problem or just a fluke.
Yeah,
But
fluke.
I'm glad
Probably.
we got it figured out.
Yeah. Okay.
I was actually thinking, oh no, I'm gonna have to, what I thought I had done was somehow closed off entrance. And I thought, I'm gonna have to tell everybody to get off and get back on, and it won't work. And I was
I was trying to convince you, no, it's, you know, because you can kind of tell when you're having technical difficulties on your end. So I was like, yeah. And then something dawned on me. Okay, I got the wrong invite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when you sent me that note saying, send it to me again. So, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, ladies. Y'all be careful.
You too, ma'am.
All right.
Bye-bye.